Welcome back at my Let's Explain A to Z series. Today we're going to talk about O for oxytocin, and this one is for all the ladies, all the girls. I want you to listen up today. We're going to help you and talk a little bit more about oxytocin. What is your biggest sex organ? Think about that. Normally I get answers like especially from the ladies, I get it's like your skin, and then the guys would say penis. But actually it's your brain. Your brain is your biggest sex organ. Mothers who are listening, if you are upset with your husband or your boyfriend, will you be sexually aroused if you are upset? We are not aroused by just our physical body. We are actually aroused by our brain. And our brain is part of our physical body. Now today, why do I want to talk about oxytocin? Oxytocin is a very specific hormone that are released in a woman's body 4 different times in her life. First, when a woman is in labor, oxytocin will be released. When she is breastfeeding, oxytocin are released. When she has a sexual experience, when she has sex, then oxytocin are released. And then also when a girl is embraced. I'm not talking just by hugging, I'm talking embracing, being embraced. When they are hugging and being involved, that's oxytocin. All right, so those 4 times oxytocin are released. Now, what is the big deal about oxytocin? Oxytocin makes couples feel closer to each other. It's due to that oxytocin that they feel they can trust each other, especially a woman. That means when she is having sex, she can fully trust this person, bond with this person. So oxytocin's purpose is actually to trust and to bond with that person. Remember, when the baby is breastfed, it is when she is bonding with that child. You will still stand up for them, still love them, still protect them, because you have bonded with that child when they are held so close, when you embrace them, when you are breastfeeding them. All right? So that's why it's so important to understand the purpose of oxytocin. So oxytocin are released when a woman has sex with a guy. All right? When you have sex, your oxytocin say, I will bond with this person, I can trust this person. This helps for women to build a lasting relationship with a man, because that oxytocin causes her to bond and trust him for the rest of her life. You can see this photo of the mother embracing her daughter. It's actually an active MRI scan where it shows where the parts of the brain are lit up when oxytocin are released, when she is bonding with that child. Actually, oxytocin makes that child feel safe again. A woman wants to feel safe and bonded and feel that she's in a trusting relationship. That's really important for a woman. Otherwise, she won't be able to fully commit to that guy. Now, what happens is oxytocin, they did a study about oxytocin released in a woman's brain. And they found that oxytocin are reduced over a period of time when specific activities are involved. That's why I brought my little sticky tape, sellotape. Oxytocin is like the stickiness, the bond that she has with a man. All right. So the first time you have sex with a guy, you bond and trust this person, and the sticky tape is pressed on there. Okay. But now when you say, okay, no, this is not the guy I actually want to be with, but we had sex and stuff, and then you rip that off. It's obviously painful. That's why it's so painful. But can you see there's a little bit it's a little bit whiter. It's not so transparent because it's losing its stickiness. So let's place it, sleeping with another guy, with another guy, with another guy. Can you see? It doesn't want to stick anymore. Now that's oxytocin. That's the more partners a woman has, the less oxytocin is there. She lost her stickiness. So she's unable to bond and fully trust. So sex outside a marriage and a committed relationship for a woman, when it's the first time outside a marriage relationship, where it says oxytocin says bond, trust, sex means to that woman, sex means nothing. I can't trust this person. That's why we are having so many women in the world today not trusting guys, because her oxytocin was released the first time, her first sexual experience, and that didn't result in a committed, loving, trusting relationship. So her oxytocin is telling her, you can't trust men, you can't trust sex. Sex doesn't mean trust and bonding. It actually means nothing. That's why I can keep on sleeping around. Now this is a big problem for women, because when they reach my office and they want to and they found their true love, they have slept around when they were younger and in their teenage years, young and free. Their oxytocin, they lost their stickiness, and now they struggle to bond with that man. And that's really important for us to understand this, because we are messing ourselves up. And when we are young, we say we're young and free and can do what we want. But when we get older and we want a committed relationship, we have damaged our brains with the ability to bond to our husbands one day. This is really important for you to teach your children to understand, not just saying don't do that. There's real physical consequences for having sex when you are too young by sleeping around. It is wise to save yourself for your husband one day, because when your oxytocin are released in a sexual relationship the first time, you want to trust that guy. You want to bond with that guy for a lifetime. Can you see how beautiful God made us? When He says it's one man and one woman, it is actually so beautiful to see that they can become one, and she bonds with him for a lifetime. Encourage your daughters, not just by saying don't do that. Give them a reason, and this is a very good scientific reason to give our girls to save themselves for their husbands one day.